This is problem 4.7 from Chapter 4 of Brigham and Houston, Fundamentals of Financial Management, Concise 9th edition. First thing you should always do is write down what you know. Net income is $24,000. Interest expense is $5,000. The tax rate is 40%. Notes payable is $27,000. Long-term debt is $75,000. Common equity is $250,000. The firm finances only with debt and common equity, has no preferred stock. Alright, so based on all of this, we're supposed to calculate the firm's ROE, and its ROIC. Okay, so the ROE ratio is equal to net income divided by equity. And the ROIC ratio is equal to earnings before interest and taxes times 1 minus the tax rate. That's to subtract the interest from the operating income divided by invested capital. And in here the invested capital is interest-bearing debt plus equity. Okay, so I can already do ROE. It's net income divided by the equity. Alright, show that to as a percentage. So I wasn't given EBIT, but I can actually figure it out by backing it out of the other numbers I already have. EBIT minus the interest expenses gives me EBT, or taxable income, minus the taxes gives me net income. Okay, so I know net income is $24,000. I know the interest expense is $5,000. Alright, and I know the tax rate's 40%. So if you take all of taxable income and then you subtract 40% of taxable income based on the tax rate we're given over here, what's left is 60% of taxable income. So $24,000 net income is 60% of what we started with up here. So if I simply divide that number by 0.6, I know that I must have had $40,000 of net income. I subtracted 40% of that as income taxes, which is $16,000. And so that's how I ended up with $24,000. Well, earnings before interest and taxes minus the interest gives you earnings before taxes. So to get the EBIT, just add the interest charges back to the taxable income. And so now I've got earnings before interest and taxes of $45,000. Just backed it out. So if I take earnings before interest and taxes times 1 minus the tax rate, and then divide that by the invested capital, I get a return on invested capital of 7.67%.